typo, so like I said, always take the first lap nice and easy. Now the pace we're going right now is going to be a warm-up lap pace. So we're going to ask you to do a warm-up lap when you're out there on your own later in the afternoon. So the speed we're going right now, this would be considered a warm-up pace. Okay, just nice and easy. You're going up to fourth gear on approach to turn 3 here, and then back down to third. Now the key here through this section through the chicane is you want to miss this curve with the light cone, so it gives you a little bit wider approach down into turn 4. And then you want to straighten the steering wheel out before turning to the left, just for a brief moment, okay? That weight being centered with that steering wheel straight for just, that 10, 15 feet will help the car turn back to the left for turn 4. All right, through this section here, once again, once you get your car turned in, just drive it with your feet. Use a little throttle to get you out to the left, light brake pressure to bring it back in. Gentle brake pressure. Now as we go slower on this first session, try to use a little less brake pressure overall to try to carry your momentum. You'll find yourself entering corners sometimes faster than you would if you were at speed. Find your way up to fourth gear. Very light brake pressure here as we bring it down to the near apex. Start thinking about your downshift to third gear. You want to have it completed nice and early by the apex. Looking to the right here. At this pace, guys, it should feel pretty easy, okay? So you should be relaxed behind the steering wheel. And as the speeds increase throughout the day, you want to try to carry that, that mentality over. And stay loose behind the wheel. Just hit your marks, let the car do the work for you. Scanning to the right here. Being relaxed behind the steering wheel boils down to where you're looking. If you're not looking far enough ahead, you're mentally not going to be sure where you're taking the car. So you're going to automatically be tense behind the steering wheel. You get your eyes a little further ahead. You plan out everything. Typically, will be a lot more relaxed behind the wheel, and your inputs will be smoother. Try to find a way to use the brakes and not slow down the car, okay? Long, light brake pressure helping the car turn at these speeds. Like I said. Good. Nice job. Good little warm-up session here, gentlemen. You guys are being nice and precise. Downshifts are sounding good. That's coming from the rovers that are sitting out there listening for our downshift, so keep up the good work here. Alright, so there's long, light brake pressure. Just trying to turn the brake lights on and maintain that brake pressure here. Get about your downshift process. We'll squeeze the throttle. Now in these tighter corners, when the speeds ramp up, you need to turn the steering wheel definitely a little bit faster in those 3 corners. Now this long corner, turn the steering wheel very slow, okay? So you continue increasing that you got a long time to your apex, steering wheel moves slower. You got a short amount of time, obviously, move the steering wheel a lot faster. And Joe, try to draw a little straighter line coming off of turn 2 down, off of turn 1 down into turn 2. Straighter car is always going to be faster, so always find ways to straighten the steering wheel out as much as possible. Make your way down to third, midway through our braking zone there. Clutch should be out well before we turn in. Nice job, Al, looking good. Like I said, once you get to the apex, the orange cone down here at the bottom, straighten the steering wheel out, look left. There you go, just keep turning it tight. A lot of guys try to take a too wide of an approach into turn 4, you know, and that kind of messes them up coming out of the corner. Again, light brake pressure in, light throttle to take the car out to the left side, and then light brake pressure to bring the nose back into the apex. Brake lights here. Once you get straightened out on the left side, increase your brake pressure, get down a gear, and then roll off the brake as you steer the car in. All right, great job there, Al. We're going to do a rotation. Sir, please go to the right. Joe, you're up behind me next. Al, you're waiting on the red 57 here in a moment. Get up the 4th gear here. Now, another thing I want you guys to practice here this morning is to practice pushing the steering wheel into the corners. So try to use that outside hand to control that steering motion as opposed to pulling on the steering wheel. Get prepared for the downshift to 3rd gear. Look left. We'll throttle, light touch of the brake, and then unwind out to the left. Squeeze and power down. Now, one other tip I'll give you guys is that you need to space yourself out probably a little bit more on this warm-up session because we're going to cycle you out in front of us on the next session. So you want to have a good amount of room in front of you so you can act like you don't have a car in front of you, and you can see the full track out, you know, well out in advance. Brakes, good. You want to get that good vantage point. You start to pick up your own braking points and everything. Get prepared for each corner nice and early. Even though we're not going as fast, you guys can still use that throttle steer. Down to 3rd gear, looking to the right. Straighten the wheel briefly before turning to the left. Joe, I kept calling you Jim before. You need to try to hit your marks. Okay, you're a little bit late to turn in, so try to look through the corner a little bit earlier. Okay, make sure you look through the corner a couple times before you turn the steering wheel. So looking down here from right to left, pick up your apex, look through it down to the next turn-in point. Okay, now start to scan to the right. Good, look through it and out. Like I said, Joe, shouldn't be too much concern with that, you know, full throttle and 3/4 half throttle for this session. There's just light brake pressure, bring it down to 3 feet off the near apex cone here. You're turning in too late for this corner. And you're trying to arc it in too much. You just kind of bend the car into the corner. Down to 3rd gear, looking to the left. Good, left side, a little drag of the brakes, turn it tight on the way in, so we're straight on the way out. There you go. Same thing here in turn 1, okay? Bend the car in a little sooner. Start turning the wheel. There we go. See how that works? This is going to help get you out to the middle of the track. Okay, and you just bring it nice and easy back into the apex, straight line down. Light brakes. Good. See, we're using a little less steering, and since we use a little less steering on the way in and on the way out, we're automatically going to be able to take the car faster. Bring it into the apex. Where are you going? There you go. You got to look for that sooner. You're backsiding some of the apexes, so try to look for that through the corner a little steering. Perfect. Nice job. Good improvement there. Looking left. Good unwind. Now this one you turned in really late for. Same type of approach. Turn in sooner but smoother. Turn it in. There you go. Now add a little power. That'll help get you out to the left. Look right. Add a little steering. Straighten out. There you go. That's perfect. Nice job. Good improvement there. See that? Don't be as aggressive with the steering input in the car in a certain corners. Same thing here. Look left. In the car and just keep increasing your steering until you get to your apex. There you go. That's perfect. Now this one you need to be a little sharper with the steering. Get it turned before the apex. There we go. Unwind out. Alright? Good. Nice job. We're going to do a rotation, Joe. Just work on that, okay? In the long corners, turn the steering wheel a little sooner but smoother. In the tighter corners, you're doing just fine. Alright, let's get up to speed here, Colt.